M3 MacBook Air or M3 MacBook Pro? Which one should you go for if you're looking to buy a brand new MacBook in 2024? Well, if you're looking for the most affordable option, the Air starts from $1,100 as opposed to $1,600 for the MacBook Pro. However, the MacBook Pro comes with double the storage as well as 2 extra GPU cores. And if you configure the Air the same, the price difference goes down to $300. So is it worth spending $300 for the MacBook Pro? Well, let's take a look at all the differences, from the design to the display, all the way down to performance and battery life, right after this. This video is sponsored by Jackery and their Mini Explorer 100 Plus solar generator. More about it later in the video. Starting off with the design, I much prefer the Air here. It is not only noticeably lighter than the Pro, but also significantly thinner. I've traveled with both and I'm always shocked by how thin and light the MacBook Air feels. It's literally like I'm only carrying an iPad with me. There were also so many cases where I just grabbed the Air in one hand and started using it like this. That just wasn't the same with the MacBook Pro, which is much heavier and feels more of like a portable workstation. And I know that this is probably a small thing, but it looks to me that when Apple designed this new generation of MacBooks with the rounded frame design, they designed them with the MacBook Air in mind first. And that's because if you take a look at the ports, you'll see that the MacBook Air has them right in the middle of the chassis, whereas on the MacBook Pro, these are off-center, which has always looked very off to me. Speaking of the ports, this is where the MacBook Pro shines, as it comes with 2 extra ports, an HDMI and an SD card slot, aside from the 2 Thunderbolts plus MagSafe. Personally, I only use USB-C monitors, so I don't really need HDMI. However, there were numerous cases where I was traveling, I had my camera with me, and I wanted to quickly transfer some footage, so having that SD card slot on the MacBook Pro was incredibly handy. One more design difference is that the M3 MacBook Pro only comes in silver and space gray. Now, there is also a new black color, but for that, you need to upgrade to the more expensive M3 Pro chip. The M3 Air, on the other hand, comes in silver and space gray too, but you've also got gold and midnight. Midnight is definitely my favorite, and this year, Apple gave it an anti-fingerprint coating so that it would stand smudges and fingerprints a bit better than the previous Midnight M2 model. I should mention that if you're looking for the most durable color, you should go with silver. Space Gray and Midnight are much more susceptible to chipping and scuffing. And while the keyboard feels the same on both, the MacBook Pro has this black background, whereas with the Air, the background will always match the color of your MacBook. When it comes to the display, the biggest difference is that we've got a traditional LCD display on the Air as opposed to the Mini LED on the MacBook Pro. Now, Mini LED is still LCD technology, but with a ton of dimming zones, which allow portions of the display to go super bright or super dark. Now, in everyday use, I haven't really noticed any difference between the two, but the moment I turn the lights off and I want to watch a movie, the difference becomes staggering. The blacks on the Air will look gray, whereas on the MacBook Pro, these will be inky black. And the brightness of some scenes is also significantly higher on the MacBook Pro. Like, honestly, the MacBook Pro is one of the best laptops to watch movies on. Now, aside from the Mini LED versus LCD advantage, the Pro also has that 120Hz refresh rate as opposed to 60 on the Air. So if you do any gaming, that 120Hz will make a big difference. I don't really game on my MacBook, so for me, the main advantage is seeing all the macOS animations at 120 FPS on the MacBook Pro. And this truly makes the MacBook Pro feel much snappier than the MacBook Air.